Hi, thanks for joining me for a new As It Happens scrapbooking process video. I'm continuing to use a combination of two Studio Calico kits. So I have the Walden scrapbook kit and the Underground Project Life kit, and I think I'm on layout 3 that I've made with these. So I've pulled out this photo type paper that's all trees. It's a little bit different than what I would normally pick, and I'm going to see if I can make it work with some autumn photos. Because it's in black and white and the photos are quite colorful, I wanted to matte them with some solid color, which is also something I don't do all that often. I do tend to use my patterns instead. And I'm going to see if this green will work. And I don't think that this green would have been the color that I would have chosen if I were not working from the kit. But I am working from the kit, and this is the cardstock that's there. So I think given freedom, I might have gone for maybe kind of a orangey peachy type color to bring in the autumn tones. I probably wouldn't have gone for the blue because I'd rather the blue in the sky stand on its own. But I like maybe picking up on the warm autumn tones there in the leaves because it's stronger in my memory than it is in the photo. So I'm going to pick up on that in the accents, but I don't have enough to do it for a full matte there. So I'm going to try the green and see how it goes. What I do have in that kind of peachy orangey hue are these two little offcuts. I didn't add any ink around that matte because it's really small and because I was being lazy. So I'm going to add it here. It may end up that I get really frustrated that I didn't add it to the matte and I have to pull it up and add more ink. But I'm going to try my best not to do that. We'll see how it goes. And thought I might layer up. Maybe I'll just start with the one piece. And I wanted to build here at the bottom. Because I was a little bit silly when I loaded my paper into my printer, these two are not exactly the same size. As you can see right here in the corner, I made a mistake and I got it off a little bit. So I'm just going to cover that up. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And maybe bring in some more of that color with the washi strips here. Maybe I was going to go with this one, but maybe the simpler design is a little bit better for this because I'm going to be putting it on top of so many different layers. And other things I've pulled out. I like the idea of using this happy fall card, except I just want the happy and the leaf because we don't say fall, we say autumn. And then I get really stuck with all these fall products that are really cute, but it just doesn't work to me. If you're in a country that doesn't say fall, it's really hard to understand if you're in a country that does say fall, because I grew up in the States, so I grew up saying fall. It's not like I don't know what it means, but it's not what we would say here. And if you did say fall in a conversation here, you would get picked up on it and people would be like, well, when did you get so American? So maybe I could get away with it, but I don't know. It's just not how I think in terms of the vocabulary. So I don't want to use fall on my pages. That's my rule. So if I put this here and I just have this little gathering of different words, which I'm going to need to add more to, maybe if you didn't see the kit, you wouldn't know that it ever said fall underneath there, and you would just think that it said happy and had a leaf. That's what I'm going with. I don't know. You might really disagree and think, nope, it's perfectly obvious what you're doing there. You haven't fooled anyone. Oh, well. Sorry about that. We'll see. And then I'm going to use some other little autumn words that really aren't depicted in the pictures at all. Apple cider, pumpkin patch, I'm not using that one. That one says right meow, and I don't have a cat, and I have no pictures of cats. So I'm going to leave that one out. But I thought I don't have any other pages that do have apple cider or pumpkin patches. So why not just put it with something that is going to be a layout about autumn and go with that. So that's twice. I think I'll go ahead and use a third one and put it in above the photos. So maybe that's where I bring in that other scrap of the peachy polka dot. That can go up here. When I use polka dots, if I can, I like for the overlap to go across the dots and the cut line to go across the dots rather than in between. It doesn't always work out perfectly, but that's my preference. And then I'll add the remember to remember up here. And this green and this blue might not be a really obvious combination, so if I'm going to put two colors together that might be seen to clash, I tend to put them right together so that you know I didn't make a mistake. I didn't do this layout in bad light and think that that blue and that green were the same color. I put them right next to each other so you know I'm using the shades together. And then if you think it doesn't work, well, then that's okay too. I know these leaves are green, and it's a page about autumn, so maybe that's confusing, but I think maybe if I bundle them all together, and I just happen to like how that fit together, so I might go ahead and staple them while I have them held together like that. There's a stapler. Is that all three? Yeah, okay, so that's committed. Can't go back on that now. And I think if I put that together with some of the copper, that it'll work. I'm going to put rub-ons over the top of these. That's my plan. I think there's enough vellum there that if I just put the adhesive where it's behind all the layers, then it's not going to show through. And then I'm going to take the numbers off of here and use the diamonds. Saying, do I want it this way or this way? I think I'd rather have it all close together rather than far apart, and I want it to overlap the leaves and the blue. And I haven't tried putting rub-ons on that washi tape, so we'll see what happens there. If it all goes horribly wrong, then I'll have to put something else on top. So I'm going to see if it will stick to paper, washi. Oh, it looks like it's fine on the washi and the vellum. See if it's working on the vellum. It should work on vellum. No problem. Okay. Yep. That all overlapped. And I think if I stick this cozy down a little bit better, then I can do this October word so that it overlaps the blue a little bit as well. Where'd the lolly stick go? Okay, and then I need something up here. Splendor isn't spelt right, so just like I don't want the fall, I don't want splendor with the wrong spelling. I think I'll just use this word here. Again, that should overlap in theory. Okay, I have this, there are 3 of these little creature flare badges, and they've been a little bit of a challenge to me, so I at this point have decided they have to go on some pages, so I picked where they should go with different photos, and I thought the fox could work in this grouping here. Just see, maybe no, I do want the staple to show. I'm just going to follow the contour of that little diamond and use it to place the fox there. And then maybe have a look at these to see if there are any words that really might fit in. I think I'll come back to that because the shapes are so different that it's a little bit more complicated. But this tape will work well. I've already got one mention of apple cider, so we're going to start with something else. I like the idea of starting with Get Cozy. I ran this off this side of the page the last time I used it. So maybe instead of doing repeated lines there, I will try and separate it so that it's in the different embellishment spots. I think to make this one fit in this part of the page, I need to add a little bit more to this. I have these 3 label stickers. So why don't I go ahead and continue that theme of the vague one. So hug, laugh, smile can go up here. And smile on its own can go over here. And happy day can come down here. Maybe since this is running off the edge, I run this one off the edge too. Let's see if I can make hot cocoa work down here. I think run that off the edge too. Then I can do some journaling here and some title letters here. Just about done now, and I just want to add a little bit of stamping with some of the leaves, and I thought I would make them this sort of green color, but I don't want to have the color really saturated, so I'm just going to stamp lightly onto some scrap paper before I stamp onto the card, because I'm going to put it right over the journaling, which I realize is a tiny bit scary. And one down there, and one up at the top. Just to bring that green from the mat in a little bit and make the leaves seem a little bit more part of the layout. And then I wanted to add some gold. Still loving the gold with the copper, which I didn't think I was going to like when I did it on that first page, but it has carried on. So what I wanted to do was to put the gold mist around those leaves that I just stamped. So 3 different spots there. There we go. And that's where I'm going to call that one finished. Just going to cut all those off that edge there. And that is it. So thanks so much for watching. I would love for you to subscribe so that you get a notification of all the videos on my channel. Or I would love for you to stop by Shamelle.com. Thanks so much and have a lovely day. Thanks. Bye.